Supreme Court has upheld the High Court order to supply 1,200 metric ton of oxygen to Karnataka. The Supreme Court has said that the Karnataka High Court's order was careful and calibrated. Minakshi joins us for more on this. Minakshi, an extremely crucial order coming in from the Supreme Court. One, in terms of Karnataka's demand for oxygen, and two, in terms of even the impact or the bearing that this possibly could have for other states and their demand for oxygen.
Well, that's right. What was hugely interesting is how the central government, our viewers will recall, had moved with great alacrity yesterday itself, the Supreme Court. And today the central government objected to various high courts taking up the issues of oxygen allocation to states. So that's the interesting position that the central government took today, where it told the Supreme Court that what high courts are doing is resulting in chaos and interference and is thereby affecting the pandemic management. That was one of the stands that the central government took before the Supreme Court while it was assailing the orders of the Karnataka High Court, and that did not meet with any success in the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court went ahead and reminded the central government that the top court is conscious of the difficulties being faced by the centre, but the Supreme Court also has to think about what will happen if the requirement of oxygen in a state is not met. Furthermore, the Supreme Court also added that high courts cannot remain silent when people are dying in a state. That was one of the observations coming from the Supreme Court. So two things happening. Central government clearly wanting for the high courts to keep their hands off this issue, telling the Supreme Court that this is causing problems in pandemic management, and the Supreme Court reminding the central government that high courts cannot just be mute spectators when there are people dying. So with that observation, the Supreme Court went ahead and rejected the demand from the central government to have the Karnataka High Court order stayed. Back to you.
Okay, Minakshi, just very quickly, does this particular order pertain only to Karnataka? Because even as we speak, several high courts in the country are seized of the oxygen crisis, including the state. For example, yesterday we even had the Madras High Court saying that they want the centre to decide on increasing allocation. So was there anything at all that the Supreme Court said that this pertains only to this case, or this will be some sort of precedent?
Well, I think you see, this was the observations came in the matter pertaining to the Karnataka High Court, but clearly the central government wanted overarching order from the Supreme Court, which would have perhaps cautioned the High Courts to keep their hands off the issue of oxygen allocation. However, that has not met with any success. This particular order of the Supreme Court pertains to the Karnataka High Court's orders from yesterday, but the observation that the Supreme Court has made today, saying that high courts cannot remain silent while there are people dying in the state, will obviously have implications pan-India. And the central government's arguments that high court should be advised, or a high court should be restrained from entertaining issues pertaining to oxygen allocation also has not met with success. So clearly, even that will have implications, which clearly means that the high courts, various high courts of different states, can continue doing what they're doing in the interests of the people of that state.
Well, Minakshi, stay with us. It's an important Supreme Court order, no doubt. We have some more breaking news coming in from the Supreme Court itself. And the Supreme Court has pulled up the centre after the Delhi government has once again complained that it didn't receive the 700 metric ton yesterday, even after the court orders. Minakshi, clearly the centre thought that perhaps the 700 MT was just for one day, but the Supreme Court making it clear that they have to continue supplying oxygen to the national capital at 700 metric tons until the Supreme Court says so.
That's a hugely interesting development coming in from the top court, because remember what had happened yesterday was this, that the central government was forcefully opposing Delhi receiving 700 metric tons on a daily basis, saying that in order to be able to do so, the central government will have to divert the allocation from some other states just because the Supreme Court has ordered with regards to Delhi. So yesterday's allocation has not come by as far as the central government is concerned. Remember, till yesterday 10 a.m. The compliance was there, but subsequently again there was a requirement as per the orders of the Supreme Court, which are currently in place, which effectively means that till the Supreme Court modifies or reviews its earlier orders of supplying of 700 metric tons of oxygen to Delhi on a daily basis, the central government will have to keep complying with the earlier orders of the top court. So that has today, caused for the Supreme Court to express its mild ire at the central government, saying that the central government on its own cannot stop the supply of 700 metric tons of oxygen to Delhi until and unless the Supreme Court modifies or reviews its earlier orders, asking the central government to do so.
Well, we'll actually have to see whether the centre complies to that now after being pulled up by the Supreme Court yet again. Minakshi, thanks so much for that. We'll keep coming back to you for more updates from the Supreme Court.